All right, folks, I've been meaning to do this blog for a long time because it really is the most critical question when you think about it. The big killer in the law, in life in general, is doubt and not knowing whether to, pursue that path or that path, and you feel yourself at a bit of a crossroads. And this is the typical situation that people on the brink of getting legal, instructing a lawyer, issuing a claim, doing it themselves, that's the crossroads that they face. And this video is designed to give you a little tool to help you to make that decision so that you can either, go all in, which is the right attitude to have to litigation, or whether to move on with your life and take a commercial decision. Pick your battles, eh? So I've produced these 3 flow charts, and I'm going to invite you to email us at hello@courtwingman.com, and in return for these 3 flow charts, you've got to give me your email address, yeah, so I can add you to a mailing list. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like the stuff, hey? And I've spent a lot of work on these, boiling them down into the absolute key essentials. They're designed to basically answer the preliminary questions that you have to ask yourself before you get legal, which is down to the size as well as the value and complexity of the claim. Yeah. The critical question you need to be asking yourself, and these are the tools that will help you to do it, is it likely that your claim is going to get allocated to the small claims track, the fast track, or the multi-track? You need to know what track your claim is likely to be allocated to. So much flows from that decision, flows from that track. Yeah. So I'm just going to run through just a couple of examples from the flow charts in order to give you a flavour. So the first thing is, it's a classic one. It's the small claims track. Your claim is clearly low value. It's actually a claim that you think, you've got a very strong case, you've been royally missold payment protection insurance by a dodgy bank, for instance. You think you're banged to rights, but it's relatively low value at the lower end of the £10,000 limit on small claims track. And it's complex. Financial mis-selling can be complex. Often the advice that I give such people is move on with your life. So there's one little example. The other is mediation. Mediation, the courts are big on mediation these days and trying to drive people down mediation. Well, the umbrella term is alternative dispute resolution, of which mediation is the classic. But alternative dispute resolution could be just a negotiation or a phone call, arbitration, or that's, you're probably unlikely to come across that, it's more commercial. Early neutral evaluation, a new thing, is a form of alternative dispute resolution. So now, if your claim is a small claim, don't bother with mediation before you issue. You're offered a small claims mediation service by the court after you've issued, and there'll be a directions questionnaire and you'll tick a box saying, yes, I'd like to try it. Yeah. For a multi-track claim, plus 25,000 and complex, yeah, you want to consider alternative dispute resolution and perhaps mediation before you issue. But even then, don't forget that you can always mediate after you've issued, and don't let an opponent give you the runaround by taking huge amounts of time and lawyers' fees in, forcing you down a mediation route prior to issue, when really you just need to pull the trigger and issue. Thirdly, the decision whether to instruct lawyers. I think there's a big sea change in the provision of legal services. Traditionally, everybody has thought either I've got to use a law firm if I've got a legal issue, or I've got to do it on my own and I haven't a clue. Now, it is true that the legal landscape, the procedural rules, especially in civil litigation, are complex. This is why I compare it in my book, Flying Solo, Ka-Ching. I compare it to, flying a commercial aeroplane rather than riding a bike, driving a car. Perhaps you could nearly get away with flying a small single prop plane, but you would never attempt to fly a commercial plane without having some training, at least having a good navigator, and reading up the book. So you have to be a little bit careful. Now, traditionally, people have thought either I've got the traditional lawyer taxi meter or I've got nothing. And Citizens Advice Bureau, fine, good, but general advice. They're not going to tailor their advice much to your case. Legal aid is dead as far as civil litigation is concerned, pretty much. So that's where, just to flog the business, that's where Court Wingman steps in. And I'm very sincere about this business. I've thought very carefully about this over the years, and it's designed to support you. So this flow chart will help you decide, do it myself, to instruct a law firm in the traditional way, often actually a good idea, good tactical decision. Hard-nosed lawyers, big legal bill, faces your opponent if they lose. Yeah. But now you've kind of got the Lawyer Lite approach, which is, and here's the final big freebie, big secret, is, it's all down to the paperwork, yeah? If you've got a really well-drafted particulars of claim or defence, I mean, that's sort of 75% there. Then you can rock up at court and do your advocacy and make your points. But the most important thing, not cross-examining witnesses and, making flamboyant speeches, it's about correctly laying out your cause of action, correctly drafting a strikeout application, or drafting a draft order that you want the judge to rubber stamp. That's paperwork, and that's where a service like Court Wingman can step in and be that navigator, be that control tower, and just help you with the paperwork. Okay, so hope that all makes sense. Email hello@courtwingman.com for these 3 super duper flowcharts. And don't also forget that, for my money, the book is the very best way of getting your head around how you bring a claim in the courts. And it's written from the point of view of, someone who doesn't know the law. This is not a complex legal tome, and it's full of samples and examples. If you digest that book properly, my friend, then you're off. The problem is, of course, people don't want to read a big book. I don't even want to buy a book these days. So here you've got the freebie. And of course, don't also forget, legal surgeries are proving very popular at Court Wingman now. Court Wingman right now, £150 for an hour with a solicitor. Good luck. Look forward to receiving your email, and I look forward to your feedback on whether these flowcharts have been useful. Bye for now.